Hey y'all, my name is Nick Semrad, and today I'm going to show you some tricks on the Prophet X and on the Pro 3, where we'll be using the touch strips to get some sort of momentary pedal effects tricks kind of things happening. Let's start with the Pro 3. Alright, for this example, I'll be starting with a preset lead patch that I dig on Userbank 4, Program 5, called Violent Solo, but you can do the same trick on any patch you like. For this one, I'm going to be trying to create a momentary combination of an octave jump and a sort of fuzz pedal effect. To start, let's set Effect 1 to be the HP filter. I'll set the initial mix to be 0 and parameter 1 to be around 90. This is going to eventually be used to thin out the sound of the lead patch a little bit to achieve that part of the fuzz sound. Now that we have that in place, let's start assigning our touch strip parameters. We'll go to the source menu, have slider be a source, and choose OSC all course as a destination. Let's make the amount 24. Now you'll see that if we touch the very top of the touch strip, we have an octave jump in pitch. Now let's set the fuzz effect. Let's set the touch strip as yet another modulation source and set the destination to be distortion. Let's have the amount be 127. Let's also have the slider be a source that modulates feedback amount and have the amount be 30. And lastly, we'll set one final modulation source to be the touch strip, and we'll have the destination be Effects 1 mix, and the amount will be 127. Now, when we slide to the top of the touch strip and latch is set to off, as we currently have it set, you get a momentary effect that sort of emulates turning on both a fuzz pedal and an octave pedal at once. I usually use this in one of two ways. The first being to turn it on during an entire phrase like this, or the other way I like to do this is to switch it on between each note. This requires a bit of practice to maintain both the correct tuning and rhythmic precision, but here's an example. Now, let's switch to the Prophet X. I'll be using a patch of mine from the Prophet X patch set that I'll be releasing in a few months called Funkish, but again, you can use any patch you'd like here. For this trick, we're going to set slider 1 to be a sort of delay freeze effect, and slider 2 will be used to manipulate that effect once it's in place. To start, make sure one of your effects is set to be the stereo delay. Mine is set to Effect 2. My initial settings are going to be 0 mix, 85 time, feedback will be around 130, and the low pass filter will be on 255. Now we want slider 1 to trigger a momentary freeze, so let's head to the modulation section and assign slider 1 to be a source and set a destination of Effects 2 mix. Let's have our amount be 75 so that we can still hear a bit of the dry signal once we trigger the freeze. Let's assign slider 1 as the source again and assign the destination to be Effects 2 parameter 2, which in this case controls the feedback of the delay. Let's turn it all the way up. Now, if you tap at the top of slider 1 while playing, you'll see that we have a sort of delay freeze in effect. Let's go ahead and set slider 2 to manipulate that effect a bit. Let's assign slider 2 as a mod source and have the destination be Effects 2 parameter 1. This will modulate the time of the delay. Let's set the amount to be -30. Now, since this delay trick can tend to increase the output volume quite a bit, we're actually going to have slider 2 be the source yet again and set the mod destination to be Effects 2 mix. Let's have the amount be -30 so that when we start messing with delay time, the volume goes down a touch. We've now created a situation where you can not only activate a delay freeze, but also do a sort of effects pedal delay trick. Alright y'all, give those tricks a try, and be sure to tag both me and Sequential in what you come up with, as we'd love to see you try it. Thanks y'all.